Arabia at 21:08 local time en route to Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. About 7 minutes into the flight, the cargo compartment smoke detector System B alarm was heard in the flight deck. 59 seconds later, the other cargo compartment smoke detector was also heard in the flight deck. For the next 4 minutes 21 seconds, the flight crew began troubleshooting the alarms and attempted to find the procedure for dual cargo smoke alarms in the flight manual. The flight engineer left the flight deck to check on the conditions in the passenger cabin. 36 seconds later, the flight engineer returned to the flight deck and reported a fire in the cabin. About 12 minutes into the flight, the captain initiated a return to Riyadh. This was about 18 minutes before the airplane came to a stop. The flight engineer left the flight deck for a second time to check on the conditions in the passenger cabin. About 1 minute later, the flight engineer returned and reported smoke in the passenger cabin. Shortly after that, a flight attendant reported that passengers were panicking. At 14 minutes before the airplane came to a stop, another cargo smoke detector alarm went off in the flight deck. Shortly thereafter, the captain reported that the throttle of the number 2 engine was stuck. Also, a flight attendant reported that she could not go aft of door L2 and R2 because people were fighting in the aisles. At 10 minutes before the airplane came to a stop, a flight attendant came forward and reported to the flight crew of the presence of heavy smoke in the passenger cabin. Several minutes later, another cargo smoke detector alarm went off in the flight deck. 2 minutes and 40 seconds after landing, the airplane came to a stop on a taxiway. The captain had not conducted an emergency stop on the runway. A witness observed fire through the windows on the left side of the cabin between the L3 and L4 doors. Immediately after stopping, the crew reported to the tower they would shut down engines and start evacuating. At 1 minute 30 seconds later, the tower radioed the aircraft that they had a fire in the tail. The aircraft responded, confirmed the transmission, and stated they were going to evacuate. At 3 minutes 15 seconds after stopping, the engines were shut down. Smoke rose from the top of the fuselage, followed almost immediately by fire. No doors were opened from the inside. The crash fire rescue personnel were not successful in opening the first door until 26 minutes after the airplane came to a stop. At that point, there were no signs of life inside the airplane.